What is good, Ninja? OG over here from Player Essence, and welcome to another Nintendo Switch and gaming news video. Today we have some awesome information for you guys, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Tatsumi Kimishima discusses supporting the Nintendo Switch in the long term, his eventual retirement, cash investments in terms of stock value that they might invest, and so much more. So I'm not going to go over everything in this interview with the Nikkei that Tatsumi Kimishima recently had, but there were some interesting quotes that I did want to talk about because I think that it's really important into Nintendo's future. So let's first talk about how Nikkei said that the Nintendo Switch's popularity was supported by enthusiastic game fans in its first year, which Tatsumi Kimishima responded with, quote, "The second year is important. We want to broaden the end user base so that popularity won't slow down. We're developing new software that will make parents want to recommend their children to play with the Nintendo Switch. For example, with Nintendo Labo, which was announced in January, we proposed a new way to play by connecting Nintendo Switch with constructed cardboard models," which is, once again, I think a really smart idea. If it works out, then it's going to be really big for them in terms of getting new consumers into Nintendo Switch. If it doesn't work out, at the end of the day, it's cardboard and you can literally recycle it for your boxes for other products. You know, there's really not too much of a risk in terms of that. It's really low risk and ridiculously high reward with Nintendo Labo. So anybody who thinks it's a bad idea honestly just doesn't understand business at this point, or at least doesn't understand the risk versus reward models. Now Nikkei also followed up with Kimishima, who also weighed in on how Nintendo will use the cash deposit of around 800 billion yen stockpile from the Nintendo Switch becoming a hit. Quote, "The technological advancements in this world is fast. While we're looking at front-end technology, we're always thinking about the future of Nintendo Switch. Recently, even though we had a decreased profit for 8 years straight, we kept investing in R&D, research and development. Because we had a lot of funds, we were able to develop the Nintendo Switch and completed a lineup of appealing games in the first year. Producing explosive hits is Nintendo's value of existence." I will repeat that. Producing explosive hits is Nintendo's value of existence. There are many interesting technologies in other companies outside Nintendo. If it's possible to merge them with our company's technology, we will also consider investing outside. So that's interesting that he's saying, hey, we're considering actually doing things outside of Nintendo when it comes to certain technology. This could really broaden the scope of what's possible with the Nintendo Switch. People have talked about, is Nintendo ever going to get into VR? Well, there could be some VR company that Nintendo could merge with, or Nintendo could decide that they want to get involved with. There's all sorts of stuff that Nintendo could do. There's augmented reality, which they've dabbled with. There's cloud technology that Nintendo could invest in with an outside company. There's all sorts of different companies out there that does stuff like that. So I think Nintendo is definitely going to be setting up things for the future. And for the first time, and I've talked about this, and I'll definitely have a separate video going more in depth, but for the first time, Nintendo's actually ahead of the game when it comes to Nintendo Switch. Talk about raw horsepower all you want to or anything like that, but I think definitely the future is going to be able to take games anywhere you want. I think Microsoft and Sony want to be able to have that ability. They even saw it a while ago before the Switch even launched with stuff like PS Vita. In addition to Windows 10 tablets being able to play Xbox One games through streaming. So I think eventually it's going to get to that point. Don't know when, but eventually it is. But Nintendo's pretty much really ahead of the competition when it comes to being able to play any game anywhere you want, whether it's on your TV or it's on the go. You can play that same game. So we'll see what happens in the future. We'll see what technologies Nintendo decides to absorb or invest into, but I'm excited for the future as far as what they're going to do. And then finally, the Nikkei asked Kimishima about his eventual retirement and when he's thinking about that in terms of the transferring management and all of that. So here's what he had to say on the matter. When Mr. Hiroshi Yamauchi retired, he left the following words: "We don't know what will happen, but just do it with our own responsibility." And I think it's exactly as he said. I'm always thinking about the timing of my retirement because Tatsumi Kimishima is not the youngest guy out there. I think he's in his mid to late 60s, somewhere in there. So I do feel that timing is key. With the Nintendo Switch basically starting out right now and they're still getting into the flow of things, it would be bad for Kimishima to retire at this point. I think it would be bad for Kimishima to retire anytime soon, actually. I think they should probably get through most of this generation, plan the next one, have everything ready to go, have the first year of whatever's next next, and then maybe they can change the guard. But at this point, I don't think that it's a good idea, obviously, and Nintendo doesn't think it's a good idea. Kimishima doesn't seem like he's going to be retiring anytime soon, but you never know. And I know who the replacement's going to be, or at least I think I know who the replacement's going to be, and I'm possibly thinking that it's going to be Koizumi at some point. He set himself up to pretty much be the next president at Nintendo, and I think that it's going to take a little bit more time. There needs to be basically a guiding period to where, okay, look, Kimishima knows he's going to retire, and he needs to take the person under their wing even more and say, this is what you need to do, this is what you can do, and of course, you know, do your own thing as far as what you want to do to steer this company. So I think Koizumi is definitely going to be the pick at some point, unless something drastic happens. But yeah, one of those things to where I don't really think that it's time at this point, but timing is definitely key. And I think that making sure that the Switch is pretty much out there, that everything's going good, you've launched all your initiatives, that is going to be key for Kimishima. So he definitely needs to stay put for the time being. So what do you guys think about everything here as far as what Tatsumi Kimishima had to say? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, and moving to the next article here, the Nintendo Switch eShop charts are live in terms of from February 2nd, 2018. And to no one's surprise, Celeste is still #1 on the charts. But I did want to talk about the top 20 here, and I'll go through them really quickly, then I'll discuss Celeste and just in general the eShop charts and what we're seeing here, because developer of Celeste did say that the game is pretty much selling best on the Nintendo Switch, although he didn't give more details than that, but we'll discuss that in a bit. So at number 20, it's Enter the Gungeon, number 19, Splatoon, number 18, 1-2 Switch, number 17, ARMS, number 16, Sonic Mania, number 15, Doom, which is always good to see Doom get in the top 20. I think it exited and now it's back in, so awesome. I think that sale really helped out. Number 14, Earth Wars. Number 13, The Escapist 2. Number 12, NBA Playgrounds Enhanced Edition. Number 11, Mario + Rabbids Kingdom of Battle. Number 10, Super Mario Odyssey. Number 9, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Number 8, Minecraft Nintendo Switch Edition. Number 7, Rocket League. Number 6, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Number 5, Darkest Dungeon. Number 4, Stardew Valley. Number 3, Overcooked Special Edition. Number 2, Versus Super Mario Bros. And number 1, Celeste, like we talked about here. And Celeste is a fantastic game. Everything that I've seen and heard on this game is just so cool. Tough as nails platformer, almost Super Meat Boy-ish, but has its own little charm. Beautiful design when it comes to the graphical pixel art and everything, and just a lot of content, and just one of those old school challenges that if you've played games back in the day, you like that type of challenge, or if you like stuff like Super Meat Boy and all that, then this is definitely going to be your game. So I haven't picked up Celeste at this point, but I definitely want to get it. I'm still playing through Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and anybody who says Xenoblade Chronicles 1 or Xenoblade Chronicles X is better than Xenoblade Chronicles 2 has not gotten past chapter 8. I'll just say that right now. It has not gotten past chapter 7 or chapter 8, because yo, that game is dope. But anyway, we're talking about the eShop charts here, and it's really good to see Celeste kind of break in at #1 and pretty much stay #1 at this point. And I don't really think anything's going to stop it for the foreseeable future in terms of long-term profitability, long-term placement on the charts here, because we still have games like Overcooked Special Edition, which somehow beat out Stardew Valley this week, which is very interesting that Overcooked is doing so well on the Switch to the point to where it actually be above Stardew Valley. That's interesting. Also, Darkest Dungeon, that's another game that people are really liking on the Nintendo Switch. I didn't know how well it would do considering the price of it. It is $30, but Darkest Dungeon is doing fantastic on the Nintendo Switch, which is really good to see. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe being up there, Rocket League, all of these games are really good. People are continuing to buy them, and once again, the smaller games in terms of independent games and the bigger, smaller independent games like Minecraft and Rocket League, all of these games are helping fill in any type of low period or any type of period that there aren't bigger games. People have plenty of stuff to play that they really like with good prices, so they're not breaking the bank. So then when the big games come out, like Bayonetta 2 or like Hyrule Warriors or like SNK Heroines, Ys 8, whatever the case is, Dark Souls, they have the money to buy those and to be able to play all of these ones here. And once again, no virtual console, you see a lot of big hits like this when it comes to third-party developers. So yeah, guys, I don't know if I'd expect Virtual Console to be back in the way that it was on the Wii and the Wii U, but that's just my opinion, and that's a video for another day. And once again, I did talk about how the developer of the game when it comes to Celeste did say that the Nintendo Switch actually sold the most copies of Celeste, which they expected, but they launched on all platforms. But of course, Celeste was going to do best on the Nintendo Switch. just because of the nature of the game. Being able to play that type of style anywhere that you want is obviously the most appealing on the Nintendo Switch. It's not a super graphically intense game. Why would you only want it on your TV when you can have that type of game anywhere? It makes perfect sense for people to rush out and buy this game on the Nintendo Switch. It fits the hardware, it fits the type of consumers that purchase the Switch, the age range as far as what type of game people are looking for, and just, yeah, just the demographics just kind of all align up to what Celeste is about. So yeah, that's the reason why it's doing really well on the Switch, and I'm going to get it at some point, guys. It's just one of those things to where I got to finish up Xenoblade Chronicles 2, kind of get through that game, and then I'll definitely look into other stuff. So that's one of the things that I wanted to do, is make sure I finish my games that I start playing. So what do you guys think about Celeste topping the charts here, in addition to it selling the most on the Nintendo Switch out of all the platforms? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, Ninja, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and check out the links in the description below. We've got Facebook, we've got Twitter. Go ahead and give us a like and a follow on our social media. Really helps us spread the content of Player Essence across the interwebs in addition to YouTube. Also, make sure you check out our Patreon and YouTube live gaming page and consider supporting Player Essence. When you do so, it gets you access to all sorts of cool benefits, perks, rewards, and emotes via YouTube sponsorship. So check out the link in the description below and consider supporting Player Essence right here on YouTube. Hit that like button if you did like this video. Lets me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to Player Essence for the latest RPG, Japanese, and Nintendo gaming news. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you for the next video. Peace.